Missed the beginning. Anyway, so he's in your car.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I guess I try to drive back home.
Okay, so you're trying to okay.
With him in my car,
Okay.
or like to Providence with him in my car.
Well, you think you're in Providence. You're probably in one of the outlying residential areas of
Okay.
Providence.
I just drive, I guess.
Okay,
Try to
you
find like
drive.
a hospital.
Alright. He is talking about the thing in the house that it's been trying to get him. It was in the house, it shouldn't be in the house, and all that kind of stuff. He seems to be pretty upset. Go ahead and make me another spot hidden check. This is just to determine how long it takes you to figure out where you are. Oh, one. That's a success. Okay. You take your next left turn. You check the street signs out. You realize you're still in Western Providence. You're actually on, I can't remember the name of the street off the top of my head. Chalkstone. You're on Chalkstone Street.
Okay.
And if you take a left, that'll take you into the city. It only takes you a little while to figure out the, you could probably take him over to, shoot, where's the hospital? Providence Medical Hospital is to the south, and you know how to get to there from here.
Okay.
If you want to drive down there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to do that.
You get to the hospital without any kind of incident. You do find out that the man's name. Are you going to keep questioning about who he is or anything like that? His name is Jacob North. He says he's only been living in the house. What you learn from him is he's been living in the house for a couple months. He says, on the way, he says, he kind of calms down on the way. He says, I bought that house 2 months ago. Sure, I'd heard the rumors and stories about it, that it was haunted or there was something evil there, but I heard the last one in the house murdered his wife and then hid the body away somewhere. He was a cop, I think, but I thought it was all just stories, and the price was right. I was wrong. Something strange started happening almost as soon as I moved in. There were strange sounds and smells like something was rotten, but I could never find out where it was. I swear I heard somebody moving around the house on some nights, but just never saw or found anyone. I always checked the basement. You know, that's where I heard the cop killed his wife a couple of years ago, but there was nothing. The attic was always clean, and I swear sometimes I heard someone walking around up there at night. I felt sick too, sometimes, and tired most of the time, even though I'd had a good night's sleep. Like no matter how much rest I got, something was taking something from me. But I didn't want to leave. I even took off time from my job. I'm an architect. I work for a small firm downtown, but I kept taking days off just to keep in the house or work from home. It was like I couldn't leave, and like I didn't want to leave, but I was also terrified of staying. I just couldn't leave. I could still feel the place tug at me like it wants me back. He seems really uptight. Yeah.
Well, why did you run out of the house tonight?
It was there. I saw it, and it followed me. It was in the hall, and I had to get out, but I should go back. I should go back. I should go back.
What was it?
I don't know. There's somebody in that house. There's somebody in that house.
Well, don't go back. You need medical treatment.
Okay. You're trying to convince him. He said he agrees with you.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't want to go back. But I should. All my stuff's there. I should go back. He seems really torn.
I hit you with my car. You need to go to the hospital.
Is that where we're going now?
Yes.
Okay. I should get home as soon as I can. And this kind of goes on. It keeps going back and forth too. You get him to the hospital, and you take him. You go in. They send out some attendants, orderlies, nurses to go fetch him and take him to a hospital room. He has a broken leg, concussion, a lot of scrapes and scratches and stuff like that. Well, no, he doesn't have a broken leg. He's got concussions, and he's probably got some broken or bruised ribs, is what the doctor tells you. He asks you to fill out the paperwork, as the man seems to be in pretty addled condition.
Okay. I do that.
Okay.
I fill out the paperwork.
Yeah, you got his name, the doctor, anything that you.
Where I am now.
Yes, yeah, you definitely know where you are now. You just took a wrong turn. You didn't know exactly where you were.
All right.
You realized you were on Academy Avenue because you saw the street sign when you got down to the end.
Okay.
So you know about the whereabouts of that house as well in that area of town.
All right. Then I'm gonna fill out the paperwork and leave.
Okay.
Go back to the house. Yeah, to the house.
Okay.
Or my apartment.
You go back to your apartment. he asked for your information as well as the person dropping him off.
Alright. I'll give him my name
Okay.
and my phone number.
Okay.
But I won't give him my like address.
Okay, that's fine. Anything else you want to do? Okay. All right. A couple days later, on the 24th, you get a telephone call.
Mhm.
It's a gentleman's voice, and he says, "Hello, is this Miss Holland?
Yes.
My name is Jacob North.
Mhm.
You hit me with your car
Oh, right,
the other
yes.
day and took me to the hospital. I really wanted to tell you I really appreciate that.
Well, it was the least I could do.
Well, it was my fault. I ran into the street. I don't know what happened exactly. I knew something. Anyway, I wanted to apologize for any inconvenience that I might have caused you.
Mhm.
And I was wondering if there's anything I could do to thank you for taking me to the hospital.
Well, I am kind of interested in your house. Maybe we could talk over coffee sometime.
That would be fine. Actually, I was trying to find someone to help me to deal with what's happening here in my house.
Mhm.
He sounds kind of on edge still. Not like crazy like he was the other night, but a little off.
Mhm.
When?
How about tomorrow? Like, what time of day is it?
It's probably in the early evening, like
Yeah.
dinner time or just before supper time.
How about tomorrow around 3 o'clock
Okay, very well. Where?
at a diner?
Okay, you mentioned a restaurant or a diner, and he says, okay, I'll meet you there.
Mhm.
Okay. So you go meet him the next day on the 25th.
Mhm.
It's around 3 o'clock. He is late. You sit for 10 minutes before he shows up. He still appears to be a little agitated.
Right?
He's like straightening his tie as he walks in. Looks around nervously, spots you sitting at a table. I don't know, what kind of restaurant would you have suggested? Or diner, or whatever you want.
Maybe kind of like a lounge sort of area.
Okay,
You know? what I'm
so just
talking
kind of a relaxed kind of restaurant-ish.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, there's people smoking.
about?
Upscale, middle scale, lower scale. What's your call?
I'm gonna say upscale.
Okay, so it's a real nice restaurant, probably fairly expensive. He talks to the maitre d',
Mhm.
who nods and then kind of gestures your direction and walks him over to your seat. And he sits down and then he asks for coffee. Like I said, he was straightening his tie. He's trying to kind of. It looks like his clothes are pretty wrinkled.
Mhm.
His hair's messy. He's got his hat in his hand this time.
Yeah.
And he sits down immediately. He puts his hand out and shake your hand.
Okay.
Okay. And he says, Miss Holland, thank you so much for meeting with me.
Of course.
You did me a great favor that night, although I believe I talked to you in the car. It's all kind of a blur.
Yes, well, you did mention something about a thing in your house, but I was wondering if you could talk more about that since you've calmed down a little, I see.
I don't feel terribly calm. Oh, here's a picture of this guy. Dun dun dun. There he is. Yeah. Older man, brown hair, short brown hair, probably a little overweight, maybe like 10 or 15 pounds overweight. He could probably stand to lose a few pounds, but looks like he's in good health.
Mhm.
A little pale.
Mhm.
He says, I bought the house 2 months ago. It was sold to me from the city, who apparently confiscated it. There was a police officer, I suppose, 2 years ago, who, when I heard from stories, he murdered his wife.
Mm.
It never went to trial, however, and
Why is that?
I don't know. I haven't heard that from anybody. But it's a nice small house. The price was very cheap, and it was in a nice neighborhood over in Elmhurst. So I don't know. I figured the rumors. I mean, I'm not a superstitious man. I merely. Oh, thank you. The maitre d' brings him coffee, and that's when he picks up the menu. and he
Okay.
starts looking for something. It's 3. He just kind of puts it down. If you'd like to get anything to eat,
Do I?
it's entirely up to you.
Hmm.
He'll keep talking while you decide, and you can look at the menu and pick something. The food is very kind of high end, and looks rather expensive, but a lot of kind of foods that your character probably hasn't had lately. Well, what does she make per year?
What do you mean? Oh,